Hi, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now, today's reading is a monthly reading for July 2025 for the water sign of Cancer. For the reading, I'm using the Gilded Tarot deck today. If I need to clarify, I have the Elemental Wisdom Tarot, and at the end, I will pull one additional Oracle cards from the Oracle Cards deck, Ask Your Guides. I have shuffled in off camera just to save a bit of time. Just a reminder, these readings are general. I encourage you to watch not just your sun, but also your moon and rising signs, right? They might provide you with a more complete overview of what's going on at this time by watching all of them. If you do enjoy the reading today, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. That would be wonderful. Leave comments. I would so greatly appreciate that. And I do love being able to connect with each and every one of you. All right, so let's get going. You begin with this. This card has been coming out for so many of the signs and actually in the same position for a number of the signs. So the Three of Wands. So, this is a card of expansion. It's growth potential. Threes in the tarot, they represent, abundance and growth potential. But it's the card that comes after the Two of Wands. So Two of Wands is the crossroads. You've made that choice. You're chosen one path over the other, and you've put in the time, the hard work and effort, and now you're waiting to see what type of return on investment you're going to get. So waiting for your ships to come in. It can have to do with, we see here obviously he's looking out to sea, water. So it can have to do with something overseas. There could be an opportunity, right? That whatever this waiting, it could be, waiting to hear back from something overseas. It could be travel involved. And it's helped or hindered by the Three of Swords. So some type of disappointment. Okay, don't worry, we will be clarifying, but I'll go ahead and lay down all the cards because the Three of Swords, in a relationship, yes, the Three of Swords can represent like a heartache, a third-party situation. Just in general terms, the Three of Swords can represent just disappointment, something that hasn't worked out. And with it, helping or hindering this Three of Wands, that could be something in the workplace to do with the work that you do, business that hasn't worked out for you, and that's what's sitting center spread. But again, we will clarify. Let's keep going. In the deep past, you have major arcana number 7, the Chariot, and the Chariot is associated with your sign, Cancer. So this is you showing up very much in your own power and your own energy, right, as the Chariot. And the Chariot is a card of victory. It's victory that has been difficult to achieve, right? It's a hard fought for victory, but a victory nonetheless. It can represent movement, so moving across land, so moving. Can also represent buying a car, getting a new car, selling a car, but it's a card of victory. In the recent past, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is an offer coming in. Knights in the tarot, they go off on quests. They bring back offers, right? In the case of the Knight of Pentacles, this can be a job offer, right? A new job offer, a new way for you to make money. Pentacles is earth energy, so we associate it with the work we do. It's our homes, our families, the physical, right? The material possessions here in the physical realm. This particular knight, out of all of the knights, he's the slowest moving, so this might have taken a while to come in, but the suit of Pentacles is also the suit that has sort of staying power, has longevity attached to it. So this new job offer, this new opportunity, it has staying power. It's not just going to come in and then you'll leave the job within a month. There's definitely growth potential surrounding this Knight of Pentacles. Grounding your reading, you have the King of Swords. Could be dealing with an older air sign individual, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Could be a father figure, whether this is your own father of your children. It could be seeking counsel, right? Trying to get guidance. Sometimes the King of Swords shows up when you are consulting with, say, a lawyer or getting good guidance, legal counsel. But as the King of Swords, he's mastered his particular suit, which has to do with the mind. It's cerebral energy, right? It's our thoughts. It's also, how we communicate, get those thoughts across to other people. So he's very good at giving advice. If this isn't somebody that you've been, you're dealing with, this could be you taking on the energy of the King of Wands. So a focus on communication, clarity of mind. We have another king coming into the near future position, and I was just looking at the way that this one is. It's interesting because the expression on this one's face, it's like he's looking back at this King of Swords with a very determined look on his face, actually. But this King of Wands is, again, like I was saying with this King of Swords, he is the master of this particular suit. So he's mastered the suit of Wands, which is fire energy. It has to do with the work that we do. It's also creative projects and endeavors, and then our own drive, passion, determination, ambition related to those things. So, he's oftentimes, when he shows up in a reading, it's a great energy to have if you are starting new projects. He has that, that kind of great at startup initiatives. He has great vision, so he's very creative. So, it could be you taking on this energy if it is an older fire sign individual. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, again, could be a father figure, father of your children. You show up as the Two of Swords, which is a card of needing to make a decision, but thinking for whatever reason that you are incapable of doing that, not having all the information. It's oftentimes referred to as like the stalemate card, is stagnant energy. So you need to choose one thing over the other, but you can't, feel that you can't, think that you don't, you're unable to do that. Surrounding you in your environment, we have the Five of Cups. So there's a disappointment, right, surrounding you. But the cautionary message of the Five of Cups is to, not dwell on what hasn't worked out in the past. So don't focus on the past, but focus on the present. This person still has Two of Cups right behind him, not even noticing those because he's just focusing on what he doesn't have, what, the disappointments from the past. So there's a need to be in the present. You could be missing out on a Two of Cups, which is like the soulmate energy, but it could be a partnership. So need to focus on the present and not focus on the past disappointments. In the hopes and fears, you have the Moon. The Moon card is number 18 of the major arcana. It's associated with the water sign of Pisces. And, the Moon, it's about hidden things, right? Whereas the Sun shines a light, brings clarity, illuminates the situation. The Moon, yes, there's light with the Moon, but it also, it creates shadows. So there's shadows, hidden things coming to light. There could be hidden or messages coming through at nighttime. So, needing to pay attention to dreams, keep a dream journal, but secrets coming to life as well. So in the hopes and fears, you could be, hoping to uncover certain things that have been hidden, or you could be fearing that certain things come to light. And the Two of Cups, remember with the Five of Cups, I was saying you're missing out on the Two of Cups, and they show up here in the outbound position. So yeah, there's a need to remain positive in the present, not focus on what hasn't worked out, because there's a beautiful new connection coming in. The Two of Cups on the romantic front, Two of Cups is the minor arcana version of the Lover's card. So it's that soulmate connection with another individual in the workplace, or just in general terms. The Two of Cups can be like a partnership, and we can have many different soulmates, right? Throughout our lifetime, we can have soulmates that show up as love interests, that show up as work colleagues, as, business partners. So many different soulmates, but there's a soulmate connection coming in. Bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Swords, which is, again, is not the greatest of energies, right? The Seven of Swords, you can see the man here. He's getting away with the swords. He has managed to leave 2 swords on the ground there, right? He didn't plan well enough to be able to carry all of the 7 of them, and he's sort of looking back like with regret that he's only able to get away with 5. So there's a lack of planning with this Seven of Swords, but it's also, again, this sort of what he has versus what's left. There's that seems to be a common theme this month with the Two of Cups and what hasn't worked out. Two of Cups showing up there, the Two of Swords, right, being left. He's getting away with 5. We have the Two of Swords. So there's something to do with the 2. 2 is an important number this month, which can be choices, right? But also, the Seven of Swords is about planning. Somebody this can, sometimes the Seven of Swords shows up when there's somebody trying to get away with something, like pull the wool over your eyes, being deceptive. It can also be you, you trying to get away with doing something. It doesn't have to be necessarily, that nefarious. It can be, sometimes Seven of Swords shows up when you're applying for jobs, but you don't want to let people know that. So, you're being sort of sneaky about it. You're you're choosing between, trying to choose between two jobs, but you're applying, but you just don't want people to know. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, that nefarious, but there is a sort of a lack of planning, but also a trying to get away with something associated with the card. Okay, I'm going to clarify because we have quite a few difficult cards that showed up in your reading. So we'll clarify, and then we'll get to the oracle card at the end. So, Spirit, additional messages for Cancer. What else does Cancer need to know for the month of July? Messages for Cancer for the month of July. Okay, we're going to do one last shuffle here. I'm going to start off by clarifying the Three of Swords at the center of the spread. All right, so clarifying the Three of Swords, we have the Lovers, and that is the major arcana version of the Two of Cups that shows up here in your outbound position. So this Three of Swords, yeah, for some of you, it can be related to, a relationship, this heartache, this disappointment, third-party situation. We do have Three of Swords with the Three of Wands, so we have the two number threes sitting center of your spread. So it could be for some of you a disappointment as far as a relationship goes, a third-party situation. Let's look at... Actually, let me just, on this Three of Swords, so we have the Lovers. I'm just going to pull a couple more. The Ten of Wands, which is the ending to a particularly difficult time in your life, difficult cycle, and nearing completion. Yeah, Nine of Swords. I feel that this heartache, it's brought, a great deal of sleepless nights, of worry, kept you up at night, right? And then, we have the Ten of Cups, which is, so we have two number 10s. Yeah, I think there's no way to sugarcoat really the Three of Swords, especially if it is attached to a relationship. But, I feel that it has kind of cleared the path for this Ten of Cups coming in, especially with this new Two of Cups relationships in the outbound position. It was a difficult time, a difficult situation, but it's cleared the path for what's coming in now. And we have, quite a few references to new things coming in with this Knight of Pentacles, right? We have the Two of Cups coming in at the end. Let's keep going here. So clarifying the Two of Swords here with you. What is the decision about? Queen of Coins. So could be, it could be a decision about either an earth sign individual or about the way that you make money. So, a work situation, choosing between whether you should stay or leave. Clarifying the Five of Cups. We have the Ten of Coins. Yeah, so this is the sort of the ultimate in Pentacles, right? In earth energy. So it's a financial stability, abundance. It's that generational type wealth. Sometimes the Ten of Coins shows up when you are actually receiving some type of generational type payout, like an inheritance. So inheriting a house, inheriting a lump sum of money. But yeah, there's been disappointment, and it looks like it's surrounding an indecision surrounding the work situation. Do I want to clarify anything else here? Oh, the Seven of Swords. So clarifying this Seven of Swords, we have the Hanged Man, okay, with a major arcana. So this is major arcana number 12. We put it that way up. But the Hanged Man is about delays. It can represent needing to see things from a different perspective. So, needing to see. And again, if I go with the next card, Knight of Cups, that's the Knight of Pentacles. That's a repeater. Yeah, so there could have been a delay as far as this new job offer goes, right? Five of Wands, this is like when you're competing against other people, so going out for the new job, but you're being, you're being guided to leave, right? Six of Swords, you're heading in a new direction. Definitely, right? You're heading in a new direction, choices to be made, choose this new direction. It's going to bring you greater financial stability. There's Two of Cups, there's soulmate connection there, or a partnership, like, so, getting along. If it's not in the romantic sense, it's like being in a work environment where, you're very much in flow, in tune with your work colleagues, or partnerships, partnering up with somebody else. Let's see what additional message the Oracle cards have for you. So one additional message for Cancer. Give the deck one last shuffle. And you have priorities, Master Teacher. And this is number 12. So if there are, like we had in the Hopes and Fears, the moon. So if you are paying attention to messages, signs, synchronicities, pay attention to the numbers 12 or 1, 2, 3. Okay, those would be the numbers that might be important this month. Priorities. Let's just read a bit from the guidebook. Some of these guide messages are quite long, so we'll try to pick out the main information. The key words are choice, reflections, decisions, commitment. For every new ambition, relationship, and experience you seek at this time, there's a commitment in place that must be eliminated to make way for the new. Current routines, habits, and even types of free time must be sacrificed so that you can open up to new energies. Your Master Teacher is present, urging you to identify what must go. Be honest in your assessment, and also be realistic and thoughtful in setting your goals so you don't overreach and fail. Your Master Teacher reminds you that even though the universe does support your heart, it doesn't allow you to bypass the work necessary to manifest your desires. In other words, you reap what you sow. So the best way is to systematically move toward your priorities while simultaneously discarding what no longer serves you. The message from your Master Teacher: to reach for something greater, you must first let go of what's in your hand. So letting go, right, in order to give way to greater things. And we see that with the 10 of coins, right? The 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. We do have the Chariot. We have the moving on. So yeah, letting go of the past in order to allow for new and better things to come in. All right, I do hope that these messages have helped you, Cancer. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of July. Bye for now.